Today's review is for The Lego Movie 2, the second part, the sequel to The Lego Movie from 2014, which was directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. And this long-awaited follow-up is directed by Mike Mitchell and stars the returning cast of Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Will Arnett, Nick Offerman, Charlie Day, Alison Brie, and Will Ferrell, as well as newcomers to the franchise such as Tiffany Haddish, Stephanie Beatrice, and the geeky guy from the IT Crowd. In this film, which begins directly where the original film left off, with Emmett and the rest of our heroes fighting against the invaders from planet Duplo, and 5 years later, in a post-apocalyptic Bricksburg, which has now been renamed Apocalypseburg, and an invader named General Mayhem has kidnapped Lucy, Metalbeard, Batman, Benny, and Unikitty, and has taken them all to the Queen of the Star System, Queen Whatever I Wanna Be. And Emmett teams up with a man named Rex Dangervest, an intergalactic space hero, who is also voiced by Chris Pratt, as they embark on this epic journey to find Emmett's friends before an apocalypse upon all of Lego kind arrives upon them. Now, before you guys ask, yes, I did in fact love the first film. It was one of those movies that, at first sight, seemed like nothing more than a cheap money laundering scheme, yet it turned out to be a surprisingly heartfelt, entertaining, and self-aware, and really genuinely fun movie. So as expected, I couldn't wait for a sequel to arrive. And in 2017, we did get a couple of other LEGO movies to hold us over until this one could finally come by. And one of them, the LEGO Batman movie, I also really loved. But I will admit, I am indeed one of those people who did not like the LEGO Ninjago movie. That one was just not for me. But other than that, I was still excited for the real LEGO Movie 2 to come out. And I can totally say that while the LEGO Movie 2 isn't exactly as good as the first, which, yeah, is predictable with most sequels, I can still say that I still found it to be a fun, charming, and really entertaining follow-up to the first film. The characters feel the same. I like a lot of the new characters, especially Queen Whatever I Wanna Be. She was pretty fun. And yeah, from here and there, the humor is still really good, like the first film. Like, there's a lot of jokes about how the people in Apocalypseburg are acting more humorously bleak and gritty and more mature and, well, past DCEU-ish. Well, except for Emmett. It's another example of how great these movies are at giving off self-aware satire. Especially with one part at the opening where Wild Style is trying to teach Emmett how to be really brooding, Mad Max 4 opening style. It makes for some really funny moments and it actually works pretty well. Also, it's just a lot of fun to just watch Chris Pratt talk to himself while voicing both Emmett and Rex throughout the whole movie. It was a real blast to sit through from beginning to end. I also really enjoyed Tiffany Haddish's singing in this movie. While I don't exactly listen to her music too much, it just never really caught on to me in terms of all the albums she writes. Although I can say that I did find her songs to be really catchy in this movie, and definitely a lot worth listening to on your phone. My favorite song in the whole movie by her would have to be Gotham City Guys. It has a great tune to it, and it even benefited as a collaboration between her and Will Arnett's Batman. Now, as for issues, I only really have two per se, and that is, well, you see, whenever I complain about how similar a sequel is to the original in terms of plot, you see, when I do that, I'm not saying it should never ever do it at all, and just be completely different. I mean, sometimes I can totally accept it, as in, I get that it's more of a callback sometimes. Like, if you add a few little bits that happened in the original, but that happened a little differently, I'll be fine with that. But it's just whenever the whole plot feels like a near copy-paste of the entire first movie, do I complain about it. And I can safely say that this film does do that in the way I prefer it to. Like, it's just a lot of callbacks. Not really rehashing. There was only really one part in the movie that felt like a rehash of the original. But other than that, I accepted the rest. But this also kind of leads into my next con with the film, and well, I'm afraid I cannot explain this issue I have without spoiling certain details, so you know what? I'm probably not exactly going to talk about it too much, but this is an issue. You see, this issue that I have with the film is actually a reoccurring thing that happens throughout all of these LEGO movies so far. It happened in the first one, it happened in the LEGO Batman movie, and it happened in the LEGO Ninjago movie, and sure enough, it happens in this movie too. But yeah, this is a trend that all of these movies have that I'm honestly getting a little bit tired of. It's a thing that happens at the end of the film. I'll put it that way. But other than that, I thought the Lego Movie 2, the second part, was a decent sequel to the original. While it doesn't totally recapture the same exact charm and heart of the first one, it does have enough of that though, as well as some even more self-aware satire to satisfy any fans of these movies. I'm going to give the Lego Movie 2, the second part, a 7 out of 10. Let's just hope that if they make a third movie for this particular trilogy, other than the Batman Ninjago films, that they hold off on delivering this one trend that they keep giving us. I'd prefer if they stopped doing that if the films continue on. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's just getting a bit old, that's all. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. I'll see you next time, and peace out.